So I've been ducked off for the past 6 months or so. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna address those things. We're gonna address what my plan was and how it ultimately failed miserably, but for my benefit. But first, I got a call this morning from one of my closest friends. We've been boys since 7th grade, played football together coming up, my boy. And the conversation that we had was concerning something that I never thought we would have a conversation about. He was speaking in a way that was just insane, looking at the past and the things that he said concerning how he now lives his life. It was just completely backwards, and it blew my mind how somebody could change on that level. And it just made me think about the beauty of life and how beautiful change is as a person, the opportunities that we have to change, and that nothing is impossible. No amount of growth is impossible. We were talking about Jesus, and this is one of my friends, closest friends, that back in the day, he swore he would never believe in Jesus, swore he would never consider himself a Christian, and things happened in his life to where now he is a Christian. Now he's pursuing the same lifestyle that I'm pursuing, a life in Christ, a life where we submit ourselves to his teaching, to his word, and follow Jesus. And when we were on the phone, I just kind of was in a state of shock, even though I knew he was a Christian. The change happened for him about a year ago. And I promise we'll get to trading. Just stick with me, y'all. And it just blew my mind mid-conversation that me and this guy are having this conversation right now where belief is not the conversation. We're past that. He's in. Now we're talking about elevating ourselves to conduct our lives in the way that we were supposed to conduct them, that we're called to conduct them under the submission of Christ. And just that conversation was about a 30-minute call. It came at the exact time I needed it. And that conversation just gave me excitement about the future. It gave me hope in my trading journey. It gave me hope in my spiritual journey. It gave me hope about everything that I've been going through right now. Trading, man. After quitting my job back in June, I've had the toughest run I've ever had in my life. The toughest run at the markets that I've ever had. And it's not just because the market's been going crazy right now, up and down, going to the moon, new highs after new highs. No, it has nothing to do with that, honestly. That played a little bit role in my irrationality that's been taking place this past 6 months. Played a little role, but what really played the role in my downturn in trading is me trying to will the need for money, me trying to will circumstances in my life, me trying to change circumstances in my life through the markets. Is a better way to put it. I've been looking at the markets through a magnifying glass and letting my life control the way that I trade, I've been letting my life control my urges on the market, which is the opposite of what we're called to do as traders, the opposite of what I need to do as a trader. And I've just been living my life in a constant state of searching for instant gratification. And this is something that I've known would hinder my trading, yet I continue to let it be a roadblock in my trading. And I stopped posting videos. I knew I was going to come back to YouTube. That's never going to change. But I stopped posting videos for a time because I wanted to resurface as a trader that I wanted to resurface down the road 6 months or so, like right now, and be consistently profitable. A trader living right on the outside of the charts and doing the right thing on the market. But in reality, me wanting that so badly, wanting to look like, yeah, I was consistent for the past 6 months, hindered my trading because I put too much pressure on myself, quitting my job. I wanted to be that full-time trader, but it wasn't my time yet. I did it too early. And I've heard traders talk about this in the past, that after quitting their job and quitting having that consistent income, no matter how little, it puts pressure on their trading, and it hinders their trading in a lot of situations. And if my face looks crazy, I just went on a 6-mile run, so that's why I've got all the dust and stuff on my face, sweat. But yeah, a lot of pressure this past 6 months, and all of the losses that I've gone on have literally been due to me not being able to call it quits on a day. Me not sticking to my daily loss limit, me just chasing for that instant gratification and wanting to pass an evaluation this day or needing to make a payout this day. It has all come from, every single problem I've had on the charts has come from myself, and I'm completely aware of that. Even just looking back at weeks of work and saying, like, hindsight's 20/20, of course, but if I were to just follow my process, cut my loss, take my profit, move my stop to break even and accept it, then I would have had a huge year this year. Gigantic year. But me just not knowing when to say was enough is enough, me chasing profits, me not being, humble's not the word, but not being happy with the profits that I made, just yearning for more and coveting big profits, putting them on a pedestal. That is what hindered me this past 6 months. And this past 6 months is, honestly, I think it's been the most important time in my trading career because it's giving me so much to learn from. I know I'm never gonna stop this game. I'm never gonna quit. So I could have looked at it in a, dang, my biggest drawdown came after my biggest winning period. I'm a trash trader, this and that, but no, I know that this process is a lifelong process and that I'm always gonna face challenges, but I've gotta be able to look back at them and learn from them and create something different from them. Start doing something different, start changing, and really crave not the instant gratification, but the delayed gratification. It's not a concept that's foreign to me, but it's a concept that I've been foreign to living out that's been foreign to me in a way that I've never lived it out over a long period of time, and that's what I have to do. I have no choice. I've seen what the inconsistency does, and I'm still net positive on the year. It's been my best year trading, but it all came at the beginning of this year, which makes me, feel like, dang, I haven't made money in forever. But it's all been self-inflicted. It's all been self-inflicted. And that's the beauty of this game, that I've really got to truly look inward, and I get the opportunity to look inward and change things. And to truly take myself out of my trading. Take what's going on in my life and remove it from my trading. Trading's here, my life is here. We do what my trading process says to do, and that is law. That is what has to happen. My buddy challenged me to do something. I won't go into specifics, but we challenged each other to go a month without doing something that we've had trouble with not doing. Something that we know hinders us in our life, and it definitely hinders my trading. That's the type of friends you need. There's a Bible verse that says a brother is built for a time of adversity. And my bro called me earlier, and he's the one that presented the challenge, that we do this thing together. My brother that I never thought we'd be having this type of conversation with. So it's possible, change is possible, growth is possible, and I believe it, and I know it's gonna be true. I mean, just look at where we're at. I took the gamble moving out here. But life is a gamble. If we play it too safe, play it too close to the chest, then you might not see the full harvest. But I'm gonna see the full harvest. I'm gonna see this thing through. Love this chase, but we really gotta lock things in. I got 2 top step challenges starting tomorrow. Still net positive on the year, but we are in a drawdown, self-inflicted drawdown, longest one I've ever had. And I couldn't keep quiet about it anymore. Lose money professionally. Let's get after it on these charts. I've got to be more self-accountable to myself, to my trading journey, and we got to let this thing ride. Separate myself from my trading. Let the strategy run and look back. Let's go. LMP, lose money professionally.